Have you ever walked into a room and sensed, within seconds, who held the most weight, even before anyone spoke at length? No one introduced them as leader, no one declared hierarchy. Yet something in the atmosphere already felt arranged. How status is decided in 30 seconds has less to do with achievements and more to do with signals. When someone enters a space, micro-evaluations begin immediately. Posture, pace, eye contact, vocal steadiness. These elements communicate internal positioning before content ever does. The room responds to signal coherence, not resume. What you feel internally when status shifts quickly is subtle alignment. Attention gravitates toward the person who appears least reactive to being observed, the one who does not scan for approval, the one whose movements look unhurried rather than hesitant. Status often stabilizes around perceived self-sufficiency. If someone's presence suggests that they are not seeking validation from the room begins orienting toward them instead. This process is rarely conscious. Groups are constantly scanning for who appears anchored. Anchoring reduces uncertainty. Uncertainty requires monitoring. Monitoring consumes energy. The person who feels internally stable requires less monitoring and therefore accumulates weight. Notice how conversational patterns follow early signals. Whose statements are interrupted, whose pauses are tolerated, who receives slightly more eye contact when speaking. These adjustments happen quickly, often before topics deepen. When someone over-adjusts to fit the room, softening tone, laughing prematurely, increasing volume to compensate, the signal becomes elastic. Elastic signals suggest dependency on feedback. Dependency lowers positional weight. Often this isn't about dominance, it's about perceived internal equilibrium. The person who appears comfortable occupying space without apology communicates structural steadiness. That steadiness draws alignment. Watch what happens in those first seconds before speaking. Does posture contract? Does gaze flicker? Does speech accelerate? These micro-movements influence distribution of attention more than content ever will. Status in 30 seconds is rarely fixed forever, but initial positioning shapes how subsequent interactions are interpreted. Once the early calibration occurs, confirmation bias reinforces it. The person perceived as stable receives more uninterrupted space. The person perceived as reactive receives more subtle tests. Seeing this clearly changes how hierarchy feels. It stops appearing mysterious and starts revealing its pattern. Status is not assigned through declarations. It is inferred through signal stability in the first moments of presence.